Today, in the media conference with Lal Goel, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan, our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And today, our topic is role of youth in policy making. Policy making, decision taking, and control. These are the three functions of management that have intellectual content. Economic policy and decision making do not function in a political vacuum. Vote bank politics has put the future of our youth in darkness. A policy is a deliberate system of principles to guide decisions and achieve rational outcomes. A policy is a statement of intent and is implemented as a procedure or protocol. Policies are generally adopted by a governance body within an organization. Policies can assist in both subjective and objective decision making. Policies used in subjective decisions making usually assist senior management with decisions that must be based on the relative merits of a number of factors and as a result are often hard to test objectively. For example, work-life balance policy. In contrast, policies to assist in objective decision making are usually operational in nature and can be objectively tested. For example, password policy. We have seen that public policies are the collective actions of the government. Public policies will include laws, rules, regulations, judgments, case studies, government programs, etc. Now, public policies and their nature are basically of three types: restrictive, regulatory, and facilitating policies. Youth is the most important and dynamic segment of the population in any country. It is believed that developing countries with large youth population could see tremendous growth provided they invest in young people's education, health, and protect and guarantee their rights. We can undoubtedly say that today's young are tomorrow's innovators, creators, builders, and leaders. But they need the required support in terms of good health and opportunities, skills to transform the future. The economic trigger happens when a country's more hand to work available than more mouths to feed. To put it straight, the working age population has to be larger than the dependent population. Effective youth participation is about creating opportunities for young people to be involved in influencing, shaping, designing, and contributing to policy and the development of services and programs. These opportunities are created through developing a range of formal and informal mechanisms for youth participation, from youth advisory groups to focus groups, from ongoing consultation work to supporting youth-led projects. There are many reasons for including young people in decision making. Youth participation means better decisions and increased efficiency. Evidence shows that policies and programs designed after consultation with users are more likely to be effective. By using participation, policymakers are more likely to get it right the first time and avoid wasting time and money on services young people do not want to use. Giving young people a place in decision making builds a broader base of citizens' involvement and creates stronger, more inclusive communities. Youth participation is necessary in the development of active citizenship because it balances young people's social rights with their responsibilities. Research shows that young people who are supported to participate in decision making are more likely to have increased confidence and self-belief, exercise positive career choices, and have greater involvement and responsibilities in the future. Youth participation challenges negative stereotypes of young people and help break down barriers between adults and young people. Involving young people in decision making can improve attitudes towards understanding about young people and create a greater awareness of youth issues in an organization. In India, the proportion of MPs below 40 years of age has steadily declined from 26% in the first Lok Sabha that was constituted in 1952 to 12% in the present Lok Sabha, which was constituted in 2019. So this shows that the youth participation is going down when we are talking of the public policy making. That is where the decision, the highest decision body, that is the parliament, where the participation of youth MPs have declined in the last so many years, about 70 years, from 26% to 12%. And so the role of youth is very, very important. And to discuss today's topic, that is the role of youth in policy making, I would like to invite and introduce our chief guest of today's program, and she is Ms. Gauri Kumar, IAS. Ms. Gauri Kumar, IAS, is a retired member of 1979 batch of Indian Administrative Service, that is IAS. She possesses varied experience of governance at various levels of state and union governments, cutting across a wide cross-section of sectors. She retired as Secretary, Coordination and Public Grievances, Cabinet Secretariat in 2015, and served as member as well as chairperson of the Public Enterprises Selection Board from 2015 to 2018 post her retirement. In the course of her distinguished career, she has been a former secretary in the Union Ministry of Labor and Employment as well as in the Ministry of Home Affairs. She has served as a special and additional secretary, Ministry of Mines, and additional secretary and financial advisor, Ministry of Environment and Forests. She has also been principal secretary, Urban Development, Industries and Mines, Industries Commissioner, and Secretary Education Department in Government of Gujarat. She also held the position of Director General, National Institute of Fashion and Technology, Ministry of Textiles. Ms. Gauri Kumar holds a degree of BSc in Physics, Mathematics and Statistics from Allahabad University. She completed her MSc in Mathematics from Lucknow University and was awarded 7 gold medals in the course of her studies for exceptional academic distinction. She also has a master in public administration from the John F. Kennedy School of Government, Harvard University. As a fellow of the Edward G. Mason Program in Public Policy and Management, she was awarded the Literature Fellowship by Harvard for commitment to excellence, academic achievement, and public service. Welcome, Ms. Gauri Kumar, on our show. Ms. Gauri Kumar, as I have read the report and where we have shown that how important is the role of the youth in policy making, but unfortunately in India, the participation of youth in parliament is declining every term, and now it has come only to 12%. I am afraid with this speed, in another 40, 50 years, there will be not a single youth in our parliament. All oldies like me will be sitting in the parliament. This is a very unfortunate condition, and especially when we talk about the policy making, because policy making, we are making policies for the future generation, for the present generation, and the present, about approximately 65% of the population of India up to 45 years are up to 45 years of age. So when this is the condition, only and ruled by 35%, so minority is ruling the majority. Now we would like to know from you the role of youth in policy making. Ms. Gauri Kumar, IAS, please.
Thank you, Mr. Lal Goel, and I must compliment you for continuing with your the journey of your conversations, the journey that you have undertaken all through this COVID pandemic, which we are so traumatized with. So let me begin by saying that everybody who has suffered under the pandemic, my heart reaches out, and all of us in some ways have been impacted by it. Let me also say hello to Akshay, Aman, Navjot, Priyanka, Ria, Roshni, and Saurabh for joining this conversation with me and with us about what possibly can be done by youth in policy making. So let me jump straight at the deep end, as you said. Why should youth be in policy making? And I have the following propositions, and I would like to launch with that. 46.9% of the population in this country is under the age of 25 years. We are not even talking of 40 years. Policy is the foundation of the future. It's a vision. And because it's a foundation, it has to be robust. It has to be well-grounded. The youth is important not only as electorate, it's also very important because you are the most important stakeholder. The future is yours to hold. The policy has implications in terms of sustainability. It means equity, it means well-being, it means social order, it means environmental sustainability, it means economic sustainability, and that implies that all resources are optimally deployed in the country. Whether it is the women, whether it is youth, everybody has to be optimally and to their capacity engaged. Policy means access. Policy means entitlement. Policy means rights and duties. Policy means transparency. Policy means accountability. So the youth is important because the future is yours, because you are the most important stakeholder, and you are also future policy makers who will be on the other side. Now let's go for a very fundamental basis. What should a good policy mean? And I will quote different quotes from different people just to drive home the point as to what are the important components or the different elements that constitute a good policy. Now, government would always, this is from Bill Gates, and I would like to begin with it. Governments will always play a huge part in solving big problems. They set public policy and are uniquely able to provide the resources to make sure solutions reach everyone who needs them. They also fund basic research, which is a crucial component of the innovation that improves life for everyone. I would say the youth is in a very important position to have the opportunity to solve problems for a country, not just as stakeholders who are not engaged, but as passionately engaged in a position, being in a position to make a difference to society. And I think the combination of youth and experience is what really can provide us sustainable solutions, because youth bring in energy, they bring in optimism, they bring in a futuristic attitude, and that's extremely important in policy making. Another quote, and I really liked some of these quotes in terms of laying down the foundations of good policy. The best public policy is made when you are listening to people who are going to be impacted. This is Elizabeth Dole. Improving the quality of our lives should be the ultimate target of public policy. But public policies can only deliver best fruit if they are based on reliable tools to measure the improvement they seek to bring in our lives. It's very important that we remain accountable and we remain committed to delivery at the ground level, not in terms of what the policy was supposed to deliver and what we believe it has delivered, but we need to be very confident and very sure that it is actually delivering what it is supposed to deliver. When it comes to public policy, doing the right thing is more important than doing it for the right reason. The best way to get people to do what's right collectively is to make the best thing for them to do individually. So each one of us has to give out our individual best. The public policy has to be such that it brings the best out of each one of us individually. And then only at the society level, we'll be able to bring in and impact good policy. You have to give individuals a personal incentive to do what's right for society. And I think this perspective that the youth have a big role to play. We need to revise our economic thinking to give full value to our natural resources. This revised economics will stabilize both the theory and the practice of free market capitalism. Democracy cannot function or survive without a sufficient medium by which citizens remain informed and engaged in public policy debates. So these are the elements or the components of a desirable public policy, which is grounded in reality, in realism, and it is rooted to the ground level realities. Let us look at the challenges of public policy. It seems it's easy to say that this public policy didn't work, it should have worked differently. It is very difficult to engage with public policy complexities. I was in the Harvard University, as you mentioned, and I recall we used to have a gentleman called, I was attending a course which was on economics. And this was taken by a gentleman called Jeffrey Sachs, who was a market economy proponent. And he had just come back from Poland, which was an autocratic society, as you are aware. And this was taken jointly with a professor from Harvard Law School, who was a Marxist professor. What was very interesting is that neither the left or the right is right. What is required is a balance of the two as per your current context, as per your current realities. And this is what I'm saying, because in an environment where everything is in a flux, there are uncertainties galore. You don't know what's coming next to hit you. What is coming next in a very dynamic world order, in a global reality, in a global economy. It is the ability to navigate the gray. There is nothing like black or white. Those days where you could be certain about what to do, what not to do, those days are gone. And it is the youth which is best positioned to actually navigate the gray, because you have not really got fixated with the do's and the don'ts, with the black and the white. And you are best positioned to actually be able to navigate the gray. It's a changing world order. The reality is dynamic. You have to navigate the gray. New choices have to be made. You have to confront and learn to live with nature's fury. You need passion, you need dedication, you need to willingness to engage and change the social order, the world order. Public policy, unfortunately, is a study in imperfection. It involves imperfect people with imperfect information facing deeply imperfect choices. And this is an arena where you have to do your best to navigate. As a matter of fact, the challenges of public policy in the current environment are very, very different from what they used to be, a decade or so back. It's a rapidly globalizing world. Globalization is affecting the policy formulation in each country, not just us. In each country, people are confronting public policy choices, and public policy choices with imperfect information, with imperfect tools many a time. What has globalization done? It has brought in social and electronic media, where small items of news become breaking news, which were sometimes hidden in the back pages of a newspaper. it is it has brought in so many dynamic global state and non-state actors in the domestic arena. You have global influences which have become very powerful. Environmental degradation is center stage, climate change, GMO, all of these impact public policy. So you have to learn to deal not only with the uncertainties, but also with the positives and the negatives. There are lots of positives of these changes that I just mentioned. Let's look at how public policy has been formulated in India. You're all aware that from 1951 to 2017, India had adopted a 5-year plan model. So the last 5-year plan was the 12th 5-year plan, which went up to 2017. These were done through Planning Commission till 2015, and in 2015, Niti Aayog was constituted. Niti Aayog, I'm sure everybody is aware, is a national institution for transforming India. It continued the 12th 5-year plan till 2017. In terms of allocation of funds, which was very important because the revenues are both central and state, there was a Lal formula which came into being in 1969, and it provided for transparent and objective mechanisms for allocation of state resources. The Niti Aayog has, over a period of time, evolved as a think tank, as the strategic and long-term policy and technical support and technical advice for the central and the state governments. Over a period of time, they have come up with a number of instruments, aspirational districts, and many of you might be coming from one of those aspirational districts. They have a best practices forum for exchanging best practices. They have monitoring and evaluation, something which I mentioned as one of the critical features of public policy. Competitive federalism, cooperative federalism. They have come up with aspirational vision. We are talking of a 2 trillion economy, in the next few years. We are talking of sustainable development goals. The sustainable development goals, and I would love if one of you actually reads out those 17 SDGs. I would only say, and that's something which has been adopted by everybody. Everybody accepts that these are the most important goals today. And it says the 17 SDGs read as: number 1, no poverty; 2, zero hunger; 3, good health and well-being; 4, quality education; 5, gender equality; 6, clean water and sanitation; 7, affordable and clean energy; 8, decent work and economic growth; 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure; 10, reducing inequality; 12, responsible consumption and production. This is where your responsibilities come; 13, climate action; 14, life below water, the importance of aquatic life; 15, life on land, which is your animals; 16, peace, justice and strong institutions; 17, partnerships for the goals. Now, in a way, this lays the foundation that we were talking about. And in 2015, this was called the Agenda 2030, that we have to achieve it by the year 2030. Now, the challenge before all of us is how committed, how involved, how engaged, how much of contribution we as individuals are making towards achieving these goals for our country, towards contributing to public policy, which will get us closer to these goals. And what is our role in it? And I will be delighted to hear from all of you as to what you think you can do in your individual capacity to be contributing to public policy, which will facilitate our movement towards these SDGs. And I'll come back after all of you have spoken to actually summarize. Thank you, Mr. Goel.
Thank you very much, Ms. Gauri Kumar, for giving your very inspirational and motivational opening thoughts. And one point only I would like to highlight what she said is that 17 Sustainable Development policy plan, which was made by the United Nations, and that has to be accepted and adopted by almost all the member nations. But are we going to achieve by 2030? It's a very big challenge. And as per Ms. Gauri Kumar, there the role of youth comes, where if you all will decide to contribute in taking all those 17 whatsoever in which way you can contribute, then only our country can proudly say that, yes, we have achieved that target of 17 Sustainable Development Program of United Nations. Thank you very much, Ms. Gauri Kumar. Now, I would like to invite my youth guest one by one. And first, I would like to invite Mr. Saurav Pal. Mr. Saurav Pal, please unmute yourself. Mr. Pal, Saurav Pal, you have heard our chief guest, Ms. Gauri Kumar. Now, we would like to know from you the role of youth in policy making. Mr. Saurav Pal, please.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Goel, for conducting such an empowering conference, such a powerful topic, what you have kept, which is very much needed, I believe, because at this point of time, no one is taking...
Mr. Pal, can you just first introduce yourself, your name and what you are doing, and and city.
All right. So I'm Saurav Pal. I am working as a hike specialist, where I'm empowering thousands of young professionals who are under the age of 30 in their professional career and in their market, how they can excel and how they can progress ahead in this journey. So
which city?
I am currently in Delhi, and I am empowering people across India as well as UAE.
Okay.
All right. So it is really delighted. It is really great to be present here amongst all of you wonderful people, and sincere gratitude to Mr. Goel, how he is empowering and how he's picking up a lot of topics, a lot of concerns, what is the real need of the market. And what I feel, what I believe is why youth has to be given a lot of importance in policy making, because youth is at the ground level. They know better how things are transforming, how things are going ahead with the transition, how people who would be coming after 1 year or 2 year or 3 year or maybe 5 years down the line, how they will be going ahead and given such a platform and such an environment where they can proceed and where they can go ahead. When I meet thousands of people, like approximately 2,000 or 3,000 people I meet in a week in my live online sessions, when I interact with them, the major concern what I get, the major pain point what I get is they don't know where they're actually heading towards. Even if they are working somewhere, even if they are not working somewhere, they have no idea that what exactly is going across in their life. Why? Because when I ask them that why it is happening and why do you feel, because they tell that since our childhood, since our school days, since our college days, we have not been getting a proper nourishment. We have not been getting a proper guidance that what needs to be done and what needs not to be done. Thus, the system and the policies what we have been made in our education system as well, it has all trained us just to follow a certain sets, just to follow a certain rules, and not actually thinking about the creative stuff, not actually bringing out the talent or bringing out something hidden which is there in us. That's why it is very important for us to understand that where we are actually heading towards. Second point is, like, I truly feel that whenever someone is transitioning, whenever our youth, whenever our young people, young children are coming out of their school, and then they are like just going ahead behind the crowd and behind the competition, that okay, I need to get admission into this, I need to get admission for this competitive exam, this college, that college. Before the college and after the school, there has to be a transition period of minimum 9 to 12 months, or maybe close to 15 months, where they just go on to the ground level, they just go into the market, they just go into the industry, and they experience what is actually present all across the world, what opportunities they can pick, what opportunities they cannot pick, how they have to transform themselves, how they have to actually be in that environment and pick up something which they can actually do for next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. A lot of us starts working, starts getting onto job, starts doing a particular degree, doing a particular education, but after 2, 3, 4, 5 years, we feel that I cannot continue this for next 10 years, or I cannot continue this for next 15 years. This is one of the major challenge what people are going, and what our young people or the young students are going across at this point of time. Third thing which I really wanted to highlight here is that uh, the complete notion compared to youth is being like they're always on social media, they're always involved into such things, they're always into the areas which is not productive, which is not revenue generating, or maybe which is not something helpful, or which is not something empowering people. This is what the common notion what I have. And everything starts from our home. Each one of you, or maybe the viewers who are watching this particular live stream, you must have seen those things that our parents itself, they tell us that why are you so much on your mobile phone, why are you so much involved into your online things, or maybe or your internet, or why are you involved into some creative things. Everyone is rushing, and everyone is pushing their children and pushing their people around them towards the grading system and towards like the traditional forms what we have across. So that is what we are like inculcating those things in our blood. That is what we are inculcating in our human body, in our subconscious mind, and we are progressing in that particular manner. So that needs to be changed. That needs a real impact, and that can only happen when youth, the people under the age of 25, as Gauri ma'am beautifully mentioned, that 46% people are below the age of 25. So when that crowd, when those people will start involving into decision making, will start involving into policy making, how things can be structured, how things can be made better, then only we can feel a little bit change, or then only we can feel a little bit difference in the entire community. So that's what I really wanted to mention here, and I would like to listen what other people have on top of their mind. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Saurabh, for giving your views. And you rightly said that the youth in India is not clear. Their aim is not clear. Their goal is not clear. And because they are not being directed properly, one reason might be that the older generation was not that much tech savvy. They have not seen the mobile phones or the computer in their childhood or even the youth time. Only for last 20, 25 years, they are seeing all this development. So basically, that is one of the reasons, because youth expectation, because now youth is communicating with it's globally. They are in touch with because of the Facebook or WhatsApp and whatnot. And when they are seeing what is happening other places, they become frustrated. So the guidance definitely is required at this juncture, where the role of the educator is very important. If our education policies, education system will be changed in that way. And for that, the government of India has come out with the National Education Policy 2020. Unfortunately, because of the COVID time, this policy implementation will not take place so easily right now. It may delayed, but whatsoever, if the policy is perfectly implemented, then this problem will also sort out. But for the timing, the youth should take the guidance from their seniors, or and so that they should be on the right track. Thank you very much, Mr. Saurabh, for giving your views. Now I would like to invite my next youth guest, and he is Mr. Akshay Raj Shekharan. Mr. Akshay Raj Shekharan, you have heard our chief guest, Ms. Gauri Kumar, as well as earlier youth guests. Now we would like to know from you, role of youth in policy making. Mr. Akshay Raj Shekharan, please.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for providing this amazing opportunity. And thank you, Lal sir and Gauri Kumari ma'am, and all the guests over here and all the people. I'm Akshay Rashikran, like born and brought up in KGF, studied in Kendra Vidyalaya, and did my engineering from Bangalore Reva University. And after that, like I wanted to start something big and new. I wanted to become a job provider than job seeker, and I was fortunate enough to have like so many mentors in my life. As in Indian tradition, we go about, like it tells, like Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara. Like no matter what, like how smart, tall, or intelligent you are, you always need a mentor in your life. And in today's, as per today's topic, like role of youth in policy making. See, today's generations are the smartest people out there. If you see in the history of the world, like we live in the world where technology, like everything we have at fingertips. Like we can use, like if we see in the olden days, if someone has to become an actor or an actress, want to do something great, they had to have like so much money. Only the kings or the queens or the super powerful people were able to lead the world and help. Now today, the technology, everything is at fingertips. We can use the technology and make a world a better place to live. And right now I'm a consultant. I help people to start and grow businesses, and I help people from 15 different countries. Basically, I have seen like so many people, they want to do big things, and basically it's all about taking a person from a current situation to desired situation in the least possible time. How we can do that is learning, asking. Only when we ask we get it, and that's why it is so important. As Gauri Kumari ma'am said, like today's youth, like almost like 45% people are like below 25 years. And it's all about like the ground foundations. If people are taught with great discipline, like ability to think, curiosity, and that is what makes youth different than most people out there. Because youth have the ability to think. They're like super intelligent, emotional, cognitive intelligence. They are always curious. And it is like, it's often said, like youth, like a small child can learn like so many languages compared to a person who is like 45 years or like 60 years, because they have so many responsibilities. And because today's youth can literally change the world and do like mass innovation, radical shifts. Like if you see world's great innovations, like today's youth can do it. It's all about, they need like proper guidance, like step by step. As even some great people like Jack Ma said, right? Like you don't need to work in a big company. You need to have a good mentor or a good boss so that they can show you the right direction. Because that's what I realized after having so many mentors. And even Saint Kabir tells, Guru Bade Govind say, like Guru is the person who can show you the way, like teachers and mentors, whom I'm super grateful for. And it's like so important, because whatever we do, like business or whatever it is, everything is all about like cause and effect. Like if our causes are good, like we'll be rewarded. If our causes are bad, like we will be like punished. Like even as Gita tells, like in Bhagavad Gita, like you must never expect for what you're going to get. Be doing good thing, be a doer in life. And that is why it is so important. And I realized like we always have to be trying, and we must never stop doing, always keep on learning, right? And that is why it is so important. Because success is like very simple. It's like cause and effect. Like apple a day keeps a doctor away. In the same way, like we always have to be learning, and we have to see what is that one thing which we can constantly be improving. A small 1% increment, like small 1% improvement every single day, like will help us to grow whole together, like next level. And it is all about like getting feedback. See, we have to work in a team, and we have to always be in the leadership. Like we have to help people. Like life is like very simple. 33 is to 33 is to 33 is to formula which I follow. 33% of our life we have to learn from elders, experts who are already doing the things what we are doing, and asking out our why. What is our mission, vision, and mission in our goal? Like we have to figure out what is our why, and that is the most important thing. And we are human beings, we are like super powerful, and we have to know that, and we have to do extremely what we love to do. And that's how we can change the world, right? Today's world, like we can today's world, it's all about like the youth can control it, and that's how we can make a world a better place to live. And I always have a birth defect. I want to create a radical shift in the world, right? Like being a visionary, because youths are the, like visionaries. They think a lot. Like when you ask a small child, he will tell you which dress to wear. Like they think in a different way, and it is much easier. Because that's why we have to give like lot of education. Because education, like Mahatma Gandhi said, education is the only way where you can change the world, right? And that's why it is so important giving the right information, right knowledge. When we give them, like youth can literally transform. And like by using technologies like blockchain, cryptocurrency, all these things, which can make a world a better place to live. And thank you so much for providing this opportunity, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Akshay Rajshekharan. And one point you have made, very important point, that was that you are blessed to have so many mentors and gurus.
Yes.
But
Thank you.
today, in this COVID time, these gurus or the teachers or the educators are facing very, very tough time. And the role of youth is also very important if they take care of at least one teacher. Just see, because the teacher community cannot beg, they cannot ask anyone to give anything to them, but they are facing lots of problem, financial problem, mental problem, physical problem. If youth will come and take this cause, as you have mentioned, so that will be a Guru Dakshina, which is required today. So though everywhere, wherever you are in the world, please give some time and think what they are, how they are facing trouble, and whatsoever with your own means you can give some help to them. Thank you very much, Mr. Akshay, for giving
Thank you, sir.
very good views, I must say, very noble views. Thank you very much. Now I would like to
Thank you,
move
sir.
to my next youth guest, and he is Mr. Aman Shukla. Mr. Aman Shukla, you have heard what our chief guest, Ms. Gauri Kumar, has spoken, as well as the earlier youth guest. Now we would like to know from you the role of youth in policy making. Mr. Aman Shukla, please.
Right. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me this opportunity. And to tell you guys about myself, my name is Aman Shukla, and I'm a public speaking coach by profession. I'm not working in any company or something, but it is something which I did my own startup, and I train, students and working professionals to speak fearlessly. Because I think if you have ideas, then it is not enough. You have to know the correct way to put them forward.
From which city?
Yeah, so I'm from Bhilai, Chhattisgarh, and I did my graduation from Amity University, Noida, and then this lockdown came and we were all stuck. And these are the adverse times where we try to find what are the things which we are good at. And if I talk about myself, I was also stuck like every one of you here that, oh my God, COVID is here now. What do we have to do? And then I figured out that a person has to work on his strengths and not on his weaknesses. And I figured out what my strengths was. It was speaking in public fearlessly, and I started working on this. And like 1 year later, I've been invited into IITs, IIM, DUs, and many of these colleges to present my views. And I was like, dude, I was this student who was just passed out from a college, and now after a year, when I worked on my strengths, voila, good things are going to happen, right? So, and I really want to put forward a point which Gauri ma'am said here, that monitoring and evaluation is really important in policy making. And I also believe that one more factor is missing, which we have to put forward, which is also known as the testing of policies, right? We as a country has huge population, right? We are not some other country, like we have a very small kind of population. We would do a small survey and we'll get results. But testing is also something which is really important. Like if you guys have heard about Henry Ford, the owner of Ford Motors, who started the Ford company, when he used to hire employees, what he used to do, he did not used to interview them. He used to take them on lunch, and he ordered some food and some salt with it, and he observed that person. And then when he was asked that why do you do that, he said, I observe the person. If that person eats the food and then puts the salt in it, I hire that guy. And if someone first puts the salt and then eats the food, I don't hire that guy. And he was asked, why do you do that? He said, if a person implements a very huge strategy without testing anything, then he can put away millions of dollars of my company without even testing small things. And that is where I feel that we should test small things and see what kind of change it can take place. Because we, as I said, as a country have very huge population, so we have to put forward. जैसे हम जनगणना के लिए लोगों को घर पे भेजते हैं, we figure out that इतने लोग यहाँ हैं, we can send some evaluators to see what is the kind of policies that we actually want. As Lal Goel sir said that we have to make sure that what actually we want and not invest our money in the things which we are not really passionate about, right? So that is what I think, that we should first test different things. And if we talk about education, right, I have been in schools and colleges, and I've seen, and most of the students say that, yaar, theory बहुत ज़्यादा पढ़ाई जाती है. If we can work on practical things, then I think बहुत ज़्यादा मजा आएगा. And that is what our government has included, right? They say that theory is also important, but vocational training has also to be put forward. And that is why now when I reach to schools and colleges, they're like, yes, we need students like you, we need guys like you who are going to tell us more about the practical aspects of public speaking, and not just telling them this is what you have to do. We have to take their hands and put them forward there. Like if I give you an example, Greta Thunberg, right? We all would have heard about this little girl why did the environment industry was shaken right away? Because she was a youth who was talking about such big things. There were many of the people who were talking about environment, that we have to save our environment. But suddenly this Greta Thunberg comes and everyone is like, dude, we have to do something about the environment, right? Because she was someone who we look at and we're like, if the age of these girls are, talking about things that we have to save the environment, then there is the need for that. So when youth comes forward, it is not basically about the energy, but it is about revolutionizing new things, right? I always believe, old is gold, but that gold has to be bold, right? So the bold decision has to be has to be put forward by people who have this new kind of thinking that yes, we can introduce changes. I've always heard in business and in real life too, anything that is not growing is dying. And I relate to it so very well. Nothing in the world is stable, right? If your business is not growing, it is dying for sure. And same is with our education industry. We have been following the same curricular for the past 40 to 50 years. We have been ruled by Mughals, we have been ruled by the English people. And so we have been in the state of mind that whatever we are given, we will do that, we will have no problem with it. So we have to bring out ourselves from the mindset that we have to put forward in new things. Like if I give the definition of a leader, who is a leader? A leader is someone who knows that there is a solution. He may not know that what the solution is, but he knows that there is a solution to everything. And that is why the youth right now knows that the change can come in the education policy, and we have to put it forward. So there needs to be some people who put forward their views and tell them that these are the things which we want. Like I met a mindset trainer a few months ago, and he was talking to a very small kid of age like 18 to 19, and he said, my father doesn't understand me. My mom doesn't understand me, and they're always telling me, you do this, and they don't let me do anything. And you know what he said to that guy, the mindset trainer? He said, dude, what is the age of your father? And he said, it's right now 48. And he said, what's your age? Said, it's 18. So he said, can you believe the mindset of a 48-year-old guy and the mindset of a 18-year-old person? Can they ever interact, like the kind of things which a 48-year-old thinks and the kind of things which an 18-year-old thinks? So the mindset is really different in both factors. So you have to sit them down and ask, what do you want and what do you want? And as I said, test different things, and that will put out the best options for us here. If I talk about the right now situation, okay, of COVID, when we had so many problems with ventilator and oxygen makers, what did we do? There were students from IIT Delhi and many other different colleges who put forward very low cost ventilators for our people to use, right? Why did that happen? Because we youth know that there is a way. We are the leaders who know that if we look at Elon Musk, okay, and we look at NASA is putting out like millions and millions of dollars to put rockets on space. But this Elon Musk guy, our youth icon, is that person who did it at a cost like which can be cut into more than 50 to 60%. How did he do that? Because he has that mindset that yes, we can do that, because we've got that bold thinking. I always respect people who are at a better age and who have done better. But I always feel that experience should not be the pedestal on which we should put people who should make policies. I really don't believe that people who have experience in their life should be put at the place where they should make policies. I believe that the people who have reflected on their experiences, that okay, these are the things which has happened in the past, and this is what we learned from it, and now this is what we have to do from it. Those are the people which we should listen to. Like people say that whoever is old, he or she is wise for sure. I'm sure he's wise, but the reflection of experiences has to be there and make sure that okay, these are the problems, these will be the solutions, and this is how we'll put the idea into it. And at last, I wrote some of the things. There is a new startup in the town right now known as Avalon Scenes. Okay, and that was put forward by people who have started the first cryptocurrency company in India, like known as Varun Maya and Shashank Gudupa. These were also the people who are of age 26 to 28, and they've introduced the first cryptocurrency company, and no other person has put it forward. Why? Because they know the potential. And like we as youth, the one thing which I have problem is we need instant gratification, right? We need things to happen right away. Okay, and that is just not possible. When we compound things, we do something each day, every day, and one day it compounds to become a better decision, right? If there is a trunk, if there is a big trunk in our veranda and we have to break it upon, I don't say put your axe every day for 50
Please
to 100
be
times.
brief.
Yeah, I say put it for just 5 times every day and you'll get the results. So what I believe is we need to take some bold decisions. we need to put some testing forward, and as soon as we do that, we will know what are the things we want and what are the things which we don't want. That was it from my side. Thank you everyone. This is Aman Shukla.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aman Shukla, for giving your views. Yes, you are right. The old is gold, but gold also has to take bold decision, which is not possible for the olds, because the earlier panelist has said that they have lots of responsibilities and tensions. So definitely youth role is very, very important. And you rightly said that the how the Elon Musk has done and what, why not. And because one thing I will tell you, the difference in other countries and our country is because here the youth start from work only after 18 or 19 or 20 years of age, while in other countries they are working from 12 or 13 years. So they have a 4 or 5 years extra advantage of experience, which our country youth are losing. We have social economy, certain types of customs. The family never wants that the child of 12 or 13 years should go and work on a petrol pump or in a restaurant. But there they don't have this type of conditions. And that's why you might have seen that how the Facebook was developed by such a young person. Many, whatsoever has happened there. Why? That's we are lacking, and we always try to follow them. We are not becoming something which we should. After all, we have more brains, we have so many things. All of the CEOs, all the multinational companies everywhere in the world are Indians, but the innovation is lacking, which I am sure now the youths are understanding and they will come out. Thank you very much, Mr. Aman Shukla, for giving your very, very positive and again energetic views. Now I would like to invite my next youth guest, and she is Miss Navjot Kaur. Miss Navjot Kaur, you have heard our chief guest, Miss Gauri Kumar, as well as all earlier youth guests. Now, we would like to know from you the role of youth in policy making. Miss Navjot Kaur, please.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I'm really grateful for this chance that you have given to us today.
Please bring that
Very good,
mic close to you.
very good morning to all the people present here in the room. I'm Navjot Kaur, currently pursuing my Masters of Business from Chandigarh University, and I belong to Kharad. And I'm really grateful, sir, that you have given us a chance to come forward and express our views on this very important topic that actually, should have been the center of discussion from a very long time, but it has not been given that much importance. So by judging the current condition of our country, which we all can see that our healthcare is completely failed, there is increase in poverty, unemployment. These are nothing but the outcome of failed government policies. We all know that India has the highest youth population in the world, and yet our participation in policy making is completely zero. It is not that the youth is not willing to participate. I think that all the people that are present in the room today, we all have ideas that we want to share. But when we ask for a platform and when we say that we want to come forward, we are often shut by our well established political parties by comments like you are too young to be a political leader, or you're too young to enter politics, gain some experience and then think about doing something for your country. But according to me and according to our youth, I think that vision for nation building and the tenure of a political career, they are not at all, you know related to each other. We as youth, we have spent our last 15 to 17 years gaining knowledge and working, right? We have the right skill, we have the right knowledge, we have the right vision. Then why aren't we given the right opportunity to come forward and participate in policy making? Why our knowledge and our intellect is being questioned again and again? The one thing that is quite disheartening to see that these political leaders who are questioning our intellect are the one who during their campaigns they are bragging that Indian youth is the greatest power, we will start this institution, we will do this thing, we will do that thing. But the ground reality, we all know what is the condition of employment in the country, how people are dying at this point of time. As a nation for last 75 years, we all have been coming together and we are trying to uh, completely, we are trying to get rid of all these social evils. But India is still trapped in the chains of those evils, is because we don't have the right leaders who are leading the country. And unless and until the youth enters it, I'm quite afraid to say that we will still be trapped in this thing. even the freedom fighters who actually laid the foundation of our country, they said that Indian youth is an unpolished diamond. And unless and until this diamond is polished, there is no growth for the country. The growth of the country will become stagnant at a point of time. It is the youth who actually brings creative thinking, innovation into the system that actually can be implemented in a proper way to grow our country. And for that, it is important that we provide them the right platform where they can come forward, express their ideas, share their policies for the betterment of the nation. And one of the ways to do that is by entering politics. But we all are well aware that what is the current condition of a political system. Here our capability to become a political person is not judged based upon our knowledge, intellect, or our vision for the country. It is judged based upon what is the length of a political tenure, which I think it is not at all right. A political system, they should be made more flexible so that the people who have the right mind and they have the right vision for the country, they're actually motivated to come forward, and they are coming forward and they are sharing their views, and they are the one who are holding the offices of prime minister and chief ministers. Because if we compare it to a country like Norway, we know that it was ranked number 1 in World Happiness Index. What is the basic reason behind that? Because that country, it has over 10% of people below the age of 30 who are in the parliament. So there is no poverty, no unemployment. The healthcare system is completely excellent, and the people are happy. So this is what happens when countries who are having youth in their government, they are at the top of the pyramid of development. On the other hand, the countries which don't have, they are at the bottom. And on the contrary, if I compare it to my country, which is quite sad, the people who are in a political system, either I would say that they are not at all qualified to hold the post that they are doing, right? So, and we all can see the current condition of a country. Even after 75 years of independence, India is still a poor country. It is still developing. And unless and until the youth is coming forward and we are not entering into the political system, I'm afraid to say that India will still be a poor country for the coming 3 decades. So if we want our country to grow, it is the need of the hour that the youth is given equal participation in the political system. And we all know India is one of the youngest country in the world, but we have the oldest leaders. So I think that thing has to be changed. If our country is young, then we should have youth who should be leading the country. And we are actually, it is a token for gratitude to the for the freedom of the people who have actually fought for the country. So that is it from my side. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Ms. Navjot Kaur, for giving such a strong views about the political scenario of today. Yes, you are 100% right. This is the condition of the country. But who's to blame? See, yesterday, one person has made on my media conference very strong point, and he says, today we are not strengthening the democracy by holding this election. They are out to grab the power. We are not bothered about the democracy. This is the situation. And for that, the blame goes on you. See, the older generation never wants to leave the chair. This is a kursi ki ladai hai. Kursi, once a person is sitting on the chair, they don't want to leave. You are, as I mentioned to you, 65% of the population is below 45 years. You are in majority. You have to take a decision. You are in all the parties, BJP, Congress, X, Y, Z, all parties are having 65% members as the youth. Why they are not coming forward? You have to come forward. You say, no, this time all the tickets will be given 65% to youth and 35% to the oldies. Then you will come. But if you are not united, then those that famous that bandar baat, that monkey is taking advantage, see to it that divide and rule. So please be cautious about the senior leaders, be cautious about the oldies. They never want the youth to come forward. So you have to take a decision, and you can. Youth have that knowledge. You are intellectuals. You are experienced. Miss Gauri Kumar is here, our chief guest. IAS officer, comes from the age of 21. and they rule the country. They are the persons who have constructed, but they are also helpless because they are governed by those oldies. They have the vision. When they join the IS ship, they know what they have to do, but they are governed and controlled. So the youth role is important. Please join the mainstream. Come forward. I'm sure the country will change, and now change is coming. It will come surely, and I'm very sure that India will be developed country soon. Not as you have said, because youth are now taking control. Thank you very much, Ms. Kaur, for giving very, very strong views. Now I would like to invite my next guest, and she's Ms. Riya Jayaprakash. Ms. Riya Jayaprakash, you have heard the earlier, our chief guest, Ms. Gauri Kumar, as well as the earlier youth guest. Now we would like to know from you the role of youth in policy making. Ms. Riya Jayaprakash, first you introduce yourself and then please go ahead. Yes.
Namaste, I am Riya Jayaprakash, 11th standard student studying in Kulapati Munshi Bhavan's Vidya Mandir, Thrissur, Kerala. And this is my first time attending a talk. So I will be presenting my views on the topic, what is the role of youth in policy making. So youth is the most important segment of any population. Everyone knows that. Youth, they are very important because they will be our future. They are very energetic and enthusiastic. They have the ability to learn and adapt to any environment. And they are willing to learn new things and act on it to achieve their goals. So if if youth are involved more in policy making, it will lead to better decisions and outcomes. And many difficulties are faced by people all around the world. And all around the world, many young people, they have to deal with many problems like increased unemployment, insecurity at work, family instability, etc. So since they are exposed to quite a lot of problems, they will have great body of experience unique to their own situation. And they have views and ideas that they will derive from this experience. From this experience, they will, since they have skills and abilities, they will be able to create solutions to their own problems. And policies and programs, if these are designed in consultation with youth, it will be more effective. Since they know their own problems, they will be able to give more effective solutions, which are acceptable to large number of people. And there are quite a lot of benefits of youth participation. And not only affects youth participation, it not only benefits others, it also benefits the people, young people themselves. And it can improve people's skills, their self-perception as citizens, and as well as the policy design and implementation. And it can help young people develop their personal skills, and also it can give them a lot of practical skills and knowledge. Though young people, they have quite a lot of different views and they are highly skilled, but they are usually not included in, they are usually avoided when it comes to policy making. Many problems that youth face are generally social, economic, and institutional in nature. And main problem that I feel that the youth face is the prevailing social attitude towards young people. People often consider youth to be very troubled and troubling, and they feel that if they are included, it will lead to a lot of problems. And they feel that they need to act without taking their point of view into consideration. Most of the people that rule us today are old, and their policies are good, but they are not bold enough to think about things from a different point of view. Young people, they are open to all points of view, and since they are the lowest level in our country, they know what are their own problems and they know how to come up with proper solutions to them. So if they are included more in policy making, they will be able to give really good policies which are really acceptable to all the people. This is my point of view.
Thank you very much, Ms. Riya Jayaprakash. Yes, this is your first time, but this is not the last time. I hope that that is why this media conference with Lal Goel always keep at least once, otherwise twice, the role of youth program. We want to promote you. We want that you should come forward and try to speak out. And once you will start speaking out, as you have mentioned, the old people are not listening, they will start listening. But you have to speak out. And then only they will, because no one, everyone loves, the parents always loves, the educators loves, even the leaders loves the country. But the only thing is one has to come forward with a positive views, not the negatives. If you will give the positive views, definitely everybody will listen. And then definitely the policies making, in the policy making, the role of youth will become very important. Thank you very much, Ms. Riya Jayaprakash, for giving your views. Now I would like to go to my next panelist, and she is Ms. Roshni G. Kalihari. Ms. Roshni, you have heard what our chief guest, Ms. Gauri Kumar, as well as earlier youth guest has spoken. Now we would like to know from you your views on role of youth in policy making. Ms. Roshni Kalihari, where are you? Yes, please, go ahead.
Good morning to all. First, I would like to thank Mr. Lal Goel sir for giving me the opportunity about role of youth in policy making. And I am Roshni Kalihari, born in Chhattisgarh and brought up in Punjab. I have seen various cultures and various places I have been there. Now I'm pursuing my MBA from Sai Balaji International Institute of Management and Science from Pune. As we know, according to me, youth is the joy, the little bird that has broken out of egg, and it is eagerly waiting to spread out its wing in sky of freedom and hope. As I am a youth, I feel that youth plays an important role in policy making. It can be in very creative way. A youth can polish or it can make or destroy the country. As it is well known that youth of any country is a great asset or a precious asset, we can say. They are indeed future of country and represents it at every level. The role of youth in policy making is more important than we think. In other words, I can say the intelligence and work of youth will take country on the path of success. As every citizen is equally responsible, the youth is also same and equally responsible towards its country. As I feel that the youth participation in policy making processes is an action oriented process which involves young people in initiatives, institutions, decision, and affording them control over resources that affect their lives. There are different level of youth participation in policy making cycle, which can benefit young people's skill development, self-perception as citizen, as well as policy design and implementation. First, youth participation fosters transferable non-cognitive skills and competences. Second, the youth who feels their views and needs are being included and respected, develops positive sense of self-awareness and identity, which increases the resilience and well-being. It helps to learn, process information and decision making abilities, which allows youth to understand better how the government bodies work and increases the public transparency and accountability. Third, I want to say that policy makers can improve program design and implementations by including the information provided by the young people. Furthermore, I want to say that the participation of youth, of people like us, who are under 40 or 30s age, can increase the ownership of policies and initiative, which is an important factor for their success. at last, I want to say the wheel of development of our country lies on the shoulders of youth's creativity and productivity. The youth is the only one which is the society's engine's growth and development, and also are the masses of the people whose action and inaction can either develop our country or destroy the fabrics of our society. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Roshni, for giving very strong views about the creativity. And you have mentioned about the skills. I only want to add one thing, that if youth will take advantage of the government policies like Skill India, they can be trained and they can develop something, because unfortunately in India, only 2.3% people are skilled. While if we see the other countries, in South Korea is 96%, even Germany is 78%. So the youth role is also to be skilled first and then come for the policy making, because if you go to the policy making without a proper skill training, then definitely you will become a leader like we are seeing for last 70 years. Thank you very much, Ms. Roshni, for giving your very, very strong views. Now I would like to invite my last guest, and she is Miss Priyanka A. Bhatt. You have heard our chief guest, Miss Gauri Kumar, and earlier youth guest. Now, because today is a special day for her.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
So Miss Priyanka is having her birthday today, and initially she said it's tomorrow is my big day, so I may not be able to join. But when I said at least if you will come, it is our pleasure, because whenever any youth is coming and if they are having birthday, why not? And we wish you all the best for your birthday and hope that you will be a role, you will have an important role in policy making. Miss Priyanka A. Bhatt, your views on role of youth in policy making.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Yeah, before starting, just let me give one quote. Change is easy to propose, hard to implement, and especially hard to sustain. A very good morning to all the respected dignitaries who are present over here. So myself, Priyanka, so I'm pursuing my LLB in SDM Law College, Mangalore. So I'm here before you to speak about the youth's role in policy making. Yeah, what I can say in policy making, the quotes what I specified you at the beginning, that is, change is easy to propose, hard to implement, and especially hard to sustain. Yes, of course, this is what lagging behind in the present policy making. We fail to achieve such policy making. I mean, the policies, some of the important policies, maybe this is because of the, what I can say, the tie-ups between, the bondings between the youths and the experienced generation. So in case if they both work together, I can say this policy, whatever which has been failed can be implemented in a very good manner. So coming up to the points now, what is the role of youth in policy making? Let me just mention you that yeah, we have given lots of opportunity in entrepreneurship, in the to participate in the politics, all those things, but we have never got, or I can say we lack to get the opportunity to give our decision making in policy. With some youths in the sense who are dedicated, who are committed to give their ideas. They do have some innovatives. They have some innovative thinking that something can be achieved, or through their ideas that can be set up, but they fail to get that opportunity, I can see. So this is the thing where the youth has to be given an opportunity to keep up their I can say what their aspects or the ideas or the innovative things what they want to present. What else in case if the youths are given an opportunity? Of course, it strengthens the community. Now normally the youths, if when I just go through this normally the youths are attracted for digital marketing. Why not they are attracted towards this policy making and all? Like in case if they get this opportunity to build up, in the sense to keep up their ideas. I liked what the Aman Shukla is doing. He is just giving an opportunity of the public speakings, like he's just encouraging the things. I liked his concept, what he's doing right now. So this is what is needed. Like, some youths have the ability, but they fail to get the opportunity. That is what is happening. Now, let me tell you, all youths, I'm not telling the all youths can participate in decision making. Yes, of course they can, but they have to be trained well. In case if they are trained by the experienced people, definitely they will give a right decision, what they expect, or which can be implemented in a better way. Even there is a need of skill. All these aspects has to be merged together, and this may give a better leader for our future. And even in case of politics, what I feel, normally the youths work, in case of, while the politics election goes on, the youths come and they go for the colleges and give the they promote the politicians, and they give because of them itself they get some votings and all, but these youths are not encouraged. In case if they are entered to the politics also, they are not encouraged to give the decision making authority. This is what is going in the present generation. So yeah, what I can say at the last is that 45% has mentioned by ma'am, 45% of people are below 25 years. Maybe there's some of the youths, I can say, the thing is like due to of their family background might be, or might be they're afraid of the society, what they think, they fail to come up. I really call those youths or those people to come up, and you just present yourself that you are capable to do something through your innovatives, through your skills. Yeah, I won't tell that old is like whatever. Yeah, of course we need an guidance from the experienced people. Without that, yeah, we can't imagine. We need our mentors to guide us. The thing is that we should be a dedicated one. The youths, I feel they have ability to do so, and they have to given such an opportunity to work on. That's it I want to say. Yeah, of course I have to give a very big thanks to Lal Goel sir. So this is might be my 6th or 7th media conference with sir. Yeah, it's a very nice opportunity to develop yourself, to build your personality development. Yeah, I would and heartfelt gratitude to Lal Goel sir as well as Global TV. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Priyanka. You have made a point, and at least I am happy that everybody has bettered me, the senior citizen. At least you have given some bouquet to us also. I am sure our chief guest also might be thinking that because we both are of the that senior citizens age, so we have to. But you are right. But one point I would like to add: the youth, they can participate. After all, there is in India, it's allowed to participate in the politics in the colleges. When you can participate in the college elections, definitely afterwards, you start working in your wards, your mohallas, your panchayat, wherever. Come from the grassroots, then you can reach to the top. But if everybody wants to become overnight, as one of the panelists said, that everybody wants to become take a overnight success, it's not possible. After all, see those leaders who are there today, they worked not for a day, they are working for last 30-40 years. But I'm not saying that you have to wait for 30-40 years. Because of your skills, because of your knowledge, because you're tech savvy, you may come in 5 years time or 3 years time or 10 years time, depends on your ability and your skill. But anyway, thank you very much, Ms. Priyanka, and I will again wish you all the best and happy birthday once again. And I hope that in your life you will achieve many, many more goals. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to go back to our chief guest, Ms. Gauri Kumar. Ms. Gauri Kumar, you have heard all the youth, young youth, and they have given such a good, I must say, I am very happy today that their ideas, the way they are presenting, this shows that the future of the country is in a very, very safe hand. But they have some reservations. They have the complaints against the oldies pupil. We would like to know now your concluding remarks, Ms. Gauri Kumar, about the today's media conference and their views. Ms. Gauri Kumar, please.
Thank you, Mr. Lal. This was a very interesting and delightful conversation that we had. almost everybody pointed to a generational conflict. The generational conflict is very real. It's always so. It happened with our generation. It's happening with your generation. It will happen with the subsequent generation. Every generation, it's a power game. Let's understand. In a power game, what I have is the only thing that the world needs. The one generation believes I have experience. That's the only thing in life that you need. The younger generation believes I have energy, I have ideas, I have technology. That's the only thing that you need in the world. I began by saying, and I like to go back what I had started with, that it is not black or white. There is the gray. There are no simplistic solutions. Some of us jump to simplistic solutions. If this was there, life would be different. No, it's much more complex. And unless you are in a position to confront the reality with all its limitations, unless you are able to face up to the reality that life is difficult. I have some parts of it, but the big picture, the collage, needs many more. It is an appreciation that there is something that generation brings in, but there's something that I bring in. And I liked what Akshay had said about 33, 33, 33. He mentioned that there is the problem in life is that we are happy with what we have and we want to pin down, box in the others. It's a very bad feeling. I completely agree with that. When people box you in, you're irresponsible, you do this. It's such a wrong message that we give. But what is happening in that process is that we are becoming what they tell us. You see, we are saying we don't get an opportunity, we don't get an opportunity, we don't get an opportunity. Nobody is going to offer you an opportunity on a platter. You have got to take control of your lives and what you want to do with it, your aspirations. Nobody can ever stop. You are talking of, and people talked of Jack Ma, people talked of Musk. Each one of them has had that struggle. You have not read up properly if you are jumping to easy conclusions. Everyone has had the same struggles and they have emerged stronger from the struggles. They have not believed that they have all the answers. Nobody has the answers. Life is complex. This country has lots of complexities, a lot of diversity. What is important to understand is that I know what I have. And I would say, I was delighted to hear Saurav in the beginning saying that, he's working to empower people to take control. I mean, he didn't say I'm putting some words in your mouth, Saurav, and I'll put words in some words in your mouth because I'm trying to make a story. And the story is as follows, that you should not get boxed in by all the talk that you're irresponsible. You'll keep looking at, because the older generation is threatened. They do feel threatened by technology. They are not comfortable with technology. They do feel threatened. So we have to be able to distinguish what is the problem. The problem is that they feel threatened by the energy, the enthusiasm, the can-do, the innocence of belief. Sometimes people, the older generation does get very fixated on the problems, that they're not able to come out of that problem mode to solution orientation. That is a huge problem. That, you say, why can't we do this? Oh, this can't be done for this reason, that can't be done for that reason. The whole point here is, how do we ourselves as youth feel that we can do it, we must do it. There is no opportunity that needs to be offered to us on a platter. We have to seize the opportunity which is in front of us. How many of you during this period have gone out and supported those who are hit by pandemic? How many homes where people are quarantined have you provided food? How many people, how many children have you reached out to? I'm available, I'm willing to mentor you for free. I'm offering a class for free. Anybody please join. How many of us are actually imbued with that public spirit, which I talked about in the beginning, which is a must? Your passion, your dedication, your commitment, without which seizing opportunity for the power of it, I think it is as bad as it goes. So let us be very realistic. So I like to what Saurav talked about. You have a lot of information. What you need to have with the information is analytics, is ability to work on the ground. To work on the ground, nobody is stopping you. Why does everybody have to be a political leader or to be a bureaucrat or something to start working? Start working wherever you are in your environment around you. There are so many people who need so many things. You can structure, how do you structure an initiative so that it becomes a replicable initiative? That is the challenge that we have. I liked what Akshay talked about, mentorship. There are so many entrepreneurs. I'll come to Aman, where he talked of how he started a year back and where he is today. Because you see, it is not that public speaking is the only thing in life. Public speaking is one component in the big picture that your personality is. You are much more than just public speaking. Public speaking is one component, yes, but that's not the only thing. You don't begin and end with public speaking. And what Aman is saying is, he tried to find out, what is my core competence? What am I good at? What gives me a kick? What makes me happy? What makes me passionate? And you'd have to discover that in you, and you have to go all out. You don't have to wait for any opportunity. The pandemic is very turbulent, has brought a lot of turbulence to everybody's lives, a lot of misery, a lot of gloom. But it has also offered an opportunity. It has offered the opportunity for you to be able to access all these online resources, most of which are available actually even for free. If you are just looking for somebody to mentor you and you post somewhere that I'm looking for somebody to mentor me, you'll be able. There are also entrepreneurs who are looking for opportunities which have not been seized till now. So somebody, I'm sure, is looking at a mentorship portal. People can go and register to be a mentor, and many of you are promising entrepreneurs. Is seize the opportunity, believe in yourself, believe I can do it, find your core competence, find your strength, and then go for it. And do not look for simplistic solution or for this is black, this is white. Understand to navigate the gray. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Gauri Kumar, for giving your, again, I will say, the very inspirational and motivational views. I'm sure today's media conference has given lots of new inputs, not only to the youth who are watching, but all to the senior citizens who are also watching. They must try to give the respect for the views of the youth, and the youth should also understand take the advantage, as our chief guest has mentioned, the experience of the senior citizens or those who are elders. Thank you very much. And today's program has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon se, Samvad Sarokar News, as well as it was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you every day a new topic. And tomorrow, media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. The topic is, does lockdown really help? And the panelists are Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma, Chairman, Gyandeep Shiksha Bharati Senior Secondary School, Mathura; Mr. Deven Chaudhary, Executive Director, Aqua Plumbing Private Limited, Mathura; Dr. Janeshwar Pai Marur, Professor, Justice K.S. Hegde Institute of Management, Nitte; Ms. Manisha Singh, Senior Manager, GAIL India Limited, Pata. So please tune in tomorrow for media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. Thank you very much, Ms. Gauri Kumar, IAS, for giving so much energetic, innovative and inspirational and motivational views. And thank you all the youth guests who have given their views very, very frankly, openly and firmly. Thank you all the viewers for watching our show. Thank you very much.